Alright guys, so this is going to be a pretty interesting fanfiction idea, and this is actually one I posed a while back as a poll, but it didn't make it, so here we are a few months later after that, and I thought it'd be kind of fun to talk about it because it was such a fun idea, and I thought I'd bring it, I thought I would bring it back as a video. So yes, here we are, Dark Knight's Marvel. So, couple things. First and foremost, this is not a crossover with Marvel and DC, or the Dark Knights, the Dark Multiverse crossing into the Marvel Universe. It's nothing like that. What it is like, what if Dark Knight's Metal happened in the Marvel Universe? Like, what if they did Dark Knight's Metal in Marvel? Like, it's like a Marvel version of a DC event. So, no Batman Who Laughs, none of that, and yeah. So let's get into it. So, yeah. Also, this is going to take Marvel ideas in different ways, and some of which might be a little alien to you, but I'll explain it. So the story begins with Tony. Tony has gone dark. Like, Tony has gone straight up. Like, I have shuttered myself away from all of my friends and loved ones, and am now actually building a new machine. All he's saying to the Avengers and everyone else is that I'm working on a new project. Leave me alone. And everyone's like, okay, it's a little odd, but that's Tony. Whenever he gets an idea up when he gets really gets a bug up his ass, he's really gonna like put his nose to work and really like just buckle down and build something and might not be seen for a while. But then they find out where he's building it, Wondragore Mountain. Yeah, he's building it at Wondragore Mountain, and they're like, that's a little concerning. So the Avengers are like, let's just go talk to Tony. Like, let's just see what's going on. Maybe there's a reason why. It's not like he's been to Wondragore Mountain before. Let's just find out what's going on. Having said that, though, Steve's like, Carol, Thor, you guys with me. So Captain America, Captain Marvel, and Thor, just the three of them, go to Wondragore Mountain to talk to Tony. And they see Tony has gone full-blown, like, I just saw Lovecraftian horror. Turns out Tony has been plagued by constant nightmares and visions of something unknown. And he's like, you guys know all about the multiverse. So he just basically says, like Tony's kind of explaining, like, this whole thing he's been having is, like, visions of a multiverse. And then he's like, I'm throwing out this inversion of the multiverse. And it's been seen before in this universe. It's called the Cancerverse. Yeah, the Cancerverse is a thing in the Marvel Universe. It was kind of like the Dark Multiverse before Dark Multiverse. It was basically like a horrific, twisted version of the Marvel Universe it's literally like a cancer, hence the name. So he's been seeing visions of the Cancerverse. And he's actually been, like, in contact with people who've encountered it and been there, one of whom is Quasar. So he's been actually talking with Quasar, and just kind of like talking about like what he's been seeing, and he's like, and they're like, cool, Tony, what are you building? Cap just has that moment, was like, yeah, cool story, Tony, what are you building? And Tony goes, I have been constructing a field. I've been basically constructing a field that will, like, I think the Cancerverse is coming. I think the Cancerverse is on its way here, and I'm trying to build not a gate, but like a stopgap for them, because like Wondragore Mountain's like a tectonic area in the multiverse, and depending on the writer, like it's like an area where like magic energy as well as cosmic energy kind of like align. That's how Tony describes it. He's like, if there's an area where the Cancerverse is going to show up on Earth, it would be here. Like, this is kind of a weak point. So I'm building this as like a gate, this thing to block it. Like I use my tech to understand like the precise point where a weak point is. So this is like building I'm stitching up the wound, is what he's making it out to be. Like, I'm stitching up the wound to stop this incursion from the Cancerverse. However, that's not what happens, because it turns out he was building a gateway, but not consciously. it turns out that there's something in the Cancerverse that had been altering Tony's mind. In fact, like Thor is like Tony, like Stark. I don't think you realize what you're building here. This is straight up a gateway, and like that's the moment when the thing shuts on, and it is a gateway because something on the other side in the Cancerverse has been essentially manipulating Tony. Like there's been this strange entity like manipulating Tony's thought process and is essentially just kind of made him think he was building something when really he was building a gateway to the Cancerverse. And when it opens, the Avengers are like instantly meet who was behind this, or rather his guy, like this person's emissaries. Those being the Forgers. The Forgers are like twisted versions of Tony Stark from across the Cancerverse. And the one in charge is excuse me, the leading one, who is our Batman Who Laughs, I guess you could say. This one is called this one is called the what did I give him? The Anvil. And yeah, so the Anvil is this evil version of Tony Stark, and all these other ones are also evil versions of Tony as well. So they're all like dark, twisted versions of Tony, and they're all from different parts of the Cancerverse, because Tony explains that, like, yeah, we were just seeing a window into the Cancerverse before. There's really, like, the Cancerverse is like a whole other multiverse in of itself. It's like the cosmic rot or the seepage of the multiverse. It's just kind of like all the darkness and hate inside of us has just been concentrated and put in, or antimatter, or as Tony calls it, cancer matter, into this other universe. So yeah, these are all like dark, twisted metal, like twisted versions of Tony who work for this guy called this being called the oh fuck, I need to write these names down. The Shard. And the Shard is kind of like the Barbados of this story. So the Cancerverse is now going to spill into the Marvel Universe from this point in Wondergore Mountain, and the Avengers barely get out of there as the Cancerverse and its twisted versions of the Avengers just spread everywhere across that universe. So obviously Tony and the others get out of there, and Tony's just shook by what he saw. The Forgers are all like dark, corrupted versions of him. I'm not going to go too deep into them. Probably like one is the Arachno Knight, which is a version of Tony that was studying. He was an entomologist and studied gamma radiation with spiders, and the armor's actually like his body. He's like this spider Iron Man that loves to eat people. Then you have the Chariot, which is this version of Tony that lost his parents in a Hydra bombing, and Mephisto made him into the spirit of vengeance in that. Like he's just a more twisted version of Ghost Rider. You have what is it? You have the Doomed, which is a version of Iron Man that became a Doctor Doom. You have another who is like there's so many. Like there's just a few right there. So yeah, those are the Forgers, and they're here to forge a new Cancerverse out of this Earth. So everyone's put on alert. Like everyone is put on alert in order to fight these twisted versions of them. It is hell. It is straight up hell, because these are like straight up demonic looking beings. They're also vastly more powerful. These are just guys you just don't want to fight. And from there, the team has to like contend with the Shard, who is this. He's like basically like an like a mad eternal size version of Iron Man. When really it's just a giant armor that's all like, twisted and made of like the Cancerverse version of the Celestials with Tony's brain piloting it. With that version of Tony's brain in it. So yeah, it's a pretty fucked up story. I thought it'd be a lot of fun to do, like fun to really talk about. But you guys tell me in the comments below, what do you guys think of Dark Knight's Marvel? Do you guys like it? Do you guys hate it? Just comment below, let me know. And once again, hope y'all enjoyed this. I'm Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you next time in the Multiverse.